Imagine this. You just experienced a heartbreak, and instead of sulking, you decide to pack your bags and immerse yourself in the heartbeat of an unfamiliar city. Tokyo, ushering in a healing journey.
That's quite a pivotal decision. Instead of dwelling on the past, you rather embrace the unfamiliar to process the emotional turmoil.
Absolutely, picture bustling Tokyo. Overwhelming, crowded trains. A perfect metaphor for the emotional chaos experienced in the aftermath of a separation. As the train doors close, you are squeezed among strangers, echoing the suffocating feelings of heartbreak. But this is just the beginning of a cathartic journey.
Chaos after a traumatic event is almost inevitable. But as the saying goes, sometimes you need to lose yourself to find yourself. And what better place than the chaotic, yet harmonious blend that encapsulates Tokyo?
Interestingly, Tokyo's crowded environment brings a different perspective to the loneliness felt after a heartbreak. It's a bizarre mix of desolation in a sea of humans, yet it's comforting at the same time, as the city absorbs your emotions.
It sounds paradoxical, yet oddly beautiful. Being lost amidst the crowd can sometimes be the most private place. But witnessing this chaos, it also enhances the yearning for inner peace, leading towards our next phase of the journey.
Let's venture further into Tokyo. Meiji Shrine, often a sanctuary amidst the buzz of this sleepless city. How does our guest relate to it?
Yes, Meiji Shrine embodies tranquility, which, as per our stages of heartbreak, could mirror the calm acceptance phase. But I wonder how that calmness resonated with our guest's post-heartbreak stage.
On the flip side, we have Akihabara, the otaku paradise, hustling, bustling, and brimming with colour and life. This district could serve as a constant distraction, something many lean on during the heartbreak healing process.
Could this bustling district have helped our guest to step outside the pain, to distract them from those recurrent memories, at least for a while? Also, do you think it's essential to confront heartbreak head-on, or is distraction a healthy coping mechanism?
Both have merit, Lam. Sometimes distraction paves the way to acceptance. And speaking of change, Tokyo Skytree's sweeping views, the city laid out miniaturized before you, isn't that the perfect metaphor for perspective changes after heartbreak?
That's an interesting observation, Hazel. It feels like amidst Tokyo's towering skyscrapers, a fresh perspective on life and love can indeed be obtained. Yet every individual has their unique story of transformation. Don't you agree?
Undoubtedly, Lam. Each journey is distinct. Each heart heals in peculiar ways, and every break mends unevenly. However, the universal language of places like Tokyo, their energy, the human experiences they offer, hold the power to transform heartbreak into healing in their own distinctive way. Tokyo, a bustling metropolis. It's perhaps here, amidst this organized chaos, where one might find comfort, experiencing a sense of solitude despite being surrounded by 9.27 million lives.
It's paradoxical, right? The bustling city streets echo with a sense of anonymity, creating a safety net into which a broken heart can retreat.
But is feeling lonely in a crowd an extension of heartbreak, Lam? Or does it facilitate healing in some bizarre, almost meditative way?
That's an intriguing perspective, Hazel. It's possible that the collective energy of the city helps channel the individual's grief, providing a strange relief.
Exactly. What do you make of the Japanese concept of mono no aware? This innate understanding of impermanence seems like an inherent part of Japanese culture.
Mono no aware. The beauty of transience. How we churn through different emotions and phases of heartbreak, isn't that its own form of mono no aware? Might it add another layer of understanding to our guest's experience in Tokyo?
Perhaps it did, Lam. To wander through Tokyo experiencing its transient wonders, while rummaging through one's own emotions, that indeed might align with mono no aware.
In the end, isn't the journey about finding peace within the chaos much like navigating the crowded streets of Tokyo? It's about acknowledging the transience of feelings and finding joy amidst sadness. Perhaps it's this paradox that's so healing.
The cultural nuances of Tokyo might have had a significant influence on our guest's healing journey. don't you think, Lam?
True. Especially the introverted nature of the Japanese society. It might have played a major part in promoting introspection, thus aiding in the healing process.
But Japanese culture, with its quietude, might seem challenging for someone dealing with heartbreak, as there exists a delicate balance between being alone with one's thoughts and spiraling into loneliness.
Yes, it's a fine line. But the city's bustling streets can serve as a distraction. It's like the perfect blend of solitude and buzz. While Tokyo appears deceptively tranquil, beneath the surface it pulsates with life and energy.
Agreed, Lam. This duality is precisely what our guest might have found healing. I also wonder how indulging in Japan's traditional comfort food might have impacted their emotional health.
Hazel, you know what they say about food carrying a touch of home, adding a sense of familiarity even in a foreign land. Maybe ramen, sushi, or a warm bowl of miso soup acted like an emotional band-aid for the wounds of heartbreak.
Quite possible, Lam. Human emotions and taste buds share an uncanny connection. Food evokes comfort, joy, memories. It acts as a grounding element when everything else appears unfamiliar.
True, Hazel. And when we talk about healing rituals, Japan's famed onsens or hot springs come to mind. The warmth-focused ritual can offer a sense of tranquility, even in the turmoil of heartbreak.
Indeed, the purifying heat not only rejuvenates the body, but perhaps also the spirit. Events such as Matsuri, festival celebrated in Japan, might have also played a part in our traveller's healing journey. Do you think the local dating customs in Tokyo had any emotional impact on our guest, Lam?
It's possible. Exploring love in a foreign country can be a journey in itself, requiring courage, vulnerability, and resilience. It can add a new layer to the healing process, offering novel perspectives on love, relationships, and personal growth.
Our guest's journey in Tokyo seems to be strewn with anecdotes that added depth to their process of healing. Can you remember any, Lam?
Yes, Hazel. One that stands out is about their visit to a hidden alley in Shibuya. Among the hordes of people and towering buildings, they stumbled upon this narrow alley, untouched by the fast pace around it.
Quite reminiscent of their emotional journey, being surrounded by chaos but finding pockets of tranquility.
Absolutely. Any personal items carried during the trip that might have helped them reconnect with their past love?
In fact, there was this ornate keychain, a memento from their previous relationship. Quite ironically, it was this symbol of lockage that unlocked many of their sheltered feelings, making them confront their emotions rather than burying them.
A confrontational act indeed. And sometimes these encounters with the inanimate can evoke a visceral response that pushes one towards acceptance and eventually healing. Were there any interactions with locals that stood out?
Interestingly, they formed a bond over matcha tea with a serene octogenarian who ran a quaint tea stall at the end of Cherry Blossom Avenue. The elderly woman, while hardly aware of our traveller's heartbreak, influenced them with her profound wisdom on life and loss. She shared that, in life, nothing lasts, and yet nothing is lost.
That's a comforting perspective on loss. It's a poignant reminder of the impermanence of feelings and situations. And, in such shared wisdom, did they discover new music that provided solace?
Yes, they did. Sakura Drops by Utada Hikaru. They heard it for the first time while unwinding at a small bar in Roppongi, and it seemed to resonate with their emotional journey. The cherry blossom theme in the song was a coincidental match to their surroundings and essentially, their heartbreak too.
With each anecdote, our traveler's journey takes on a deeper meaning on the road to self-discovery and healing. Unforeseen encounters, music, shared wisdom, all integral parts of life, and in this case, healing.
So, after the confrontation with past emotions, aided by Tokyo's diverse landscape and culture, our heartbroken traveller found solace in one of the city's most serene places, Ueno Park. Reminds me of the calm after a storm.
Absolutely, Hazel. Ueno Park, in the midst of the bustling city, was an oasis, an emblem of the peace that follows the acceptance phase of heartbreak. But how did being in a place as crowded as Tokyo help with the healing process?
Well, Lam, as someone living in New York, I can relate to the comfort brought by the contemplated anonymity amidst the city crowd. It actually offers a perspective on your own individuality, knowing there are millions out there going through their own experiences, their own stories of heartbreak and healing. It doesn't make your pain any less valid, but it just adds a layer of humbling realization on how universal the experience of heartbreak is.
Interestingly, being an introverted individual, I appreciate the idea of anonymity in public spaces as it gives a sense of collective existence, and at the same time, allows one to deal with their internal issues privately. Did this ever occur to our traveler in Tokyo, especially while in Ueno Park?
Yes, and beautifully so. Amidst the silent whispers of the sakura trees, the tranquil lake, the cheerful kids, and the profound impact of friendships formed with locals, our traveller discovered a certain peaceful uniformity in their chaos and the cities, and eventually the solace it channels.
I'm reminded of the famed words, "In stillness life is transformed." The peaceful surroundings, the acceptance, all appear to have led them to a place of quiet contemplation and eventual healing.
Listener stories deeply enrich our podcast journey and offer an amazing perspective on heartbreak and healing through travel. So we wholeheartedly invite you to share your stories with us, whether it's a heart-wrenching journey through the streets of NYC or a refreshing introspective trek across the Himalayas. We're eager to hear your tales of triumph over heartbreak.
And while we're swapping stories, why not test your knowledge about Tokyo? We'll be holding a live quiz on our social media platform. Can you identify Tokyo landmarks and their cultural significance? Let's see how much you've absorbed from our guest's journey so far.
Or maybe, join us for a moment of reflection. Do you remember that one place which offered you unprecedented peace in midst of a turbulent heartbreak? Maybe it's a coffee shop, a scenic view, a busy subway ride, or perhaps the solitude of an empty park. Fleeting moments that resonated with your emotions and inspired healing. Look back on those emotions, and if it feels right, share it with our growing community of healing hearts.
Absolutely, Hazel. We look forward to hearing your heart-healing travel experiences, matching your pearls of wisdom with those we've unraveled in this journey through Tokyo. So let's gather our shared experiences, the wisdom we've tapped into, and build a shared healing journey together.
Do you think it's possible, Lam, that experiencing the traditional Zen practices helped set a soothing rhythm to the journey our guest undertook in Tokyo?
It could be, Hazel. The discipline and mindfulness offered by Zen practices might have offered a kind of cleansing ritual, washing away the residue of heartbreak.
I'd love to hear more about that, Lam. Any personal experiences or thoughts?
Well, it's not as much about heartbreak, but Zen has definitely helped me focus when my mind gets clouded. The mindful practices promote introspection, which I believe can be an effective coping mechanism during emotionally trying times.
What about other methods? Perhaps more physical ones? Weren't there bouts of intense physical activity involved in the journey?
Yes, it's said that physical activity undoubtedly plays a role in healing. The endorphins released during exercise can counteract the negative feelings, helping to ease emotional pain. Furthermore, the feeling of accomplishment after an intense workout, or even something as simple as a long walk, can boost self-esteem.
There's something incredibly fortifying about conquering your own physical limits, isn't there?
Exactly, Hazel. Whether it's through traditional practices like Zen meditation or through physical exercise, the act of focusing on oneself is crucial. It requires channeling the emotional turmoil of heartbreak into something productive or cathartic, accelerating the healing process.
Moving on to our next point. It intrigues me to realize that heartbreak often leads to a kind of rebirth. In those moments when we feel knocked down by life, we often find an unexpected strength within us, don't we? This strength propels us to adopt new habits or forge new friendships, essentially growing out of our heartbreak.
Absolutely, Hazel. Something new often sprouts from the embers of something old. Our guest, for example, found solace and strength in their heartbreak, ultimately leading to personal growth and self-discovery. Recall the story about picking up the Japanese tea ceremony during their stay in Tokyo?
I remember it. Such an elegant and meditative practice. The attention to detail, the rhythm, the discipline. It all seems to mirror the internal healing and readjusting one must do after a heartbreak. The tea ceremony became a vehicle for processing the past and embracing the present. It's like a form of artistic therapy.
And not just that, Hazel. Remember the friend our guest made while learning the tea ceremony? Even in the midst of heartache, they made a connection that turned out to be profound and meaningful. Quite unexpected, don't you think?
It's ironic, isn't it? How heartbreak can actually pave the way for more meaningful connections. But it also makes sense. You're on a path of discovery, open and receptive, and perhaps that's when we form the deepest bonds with others. Lam, what's your take on this?
Personal growth after a heartbreak is intriguing, Hazel. One moment, you're shrouded in confusion and the pain of loss. The next thing you know, you've gained a fresh perspective on love and life, confronted your vulnerabilities, maybe even acquired some new skills or hobbies. It's not to say that heartbreak isn't devastating, but it can indeed metamorphose into a springboard for self-growth.
It's almost as if heartbreak nudges us out of our comfort zone, pushing us towards introspection, growth and perspective changes. It instills a renewed sense of self-confidence and self-reliance. And our guest's journey in Tokyo exemplifies this perfectly. Looking at our guest's healing journey, there's something I've found so interesting, Lam. How the experience of being alone, particularly when abroad, can manifest in different ways. In a city as bustling as Tokyo, loneliness is in an abundance while solitude is a luxury. What's your take on that?
Well, Hazel, both loneliness and solitude mean being alone, but their connotations are vastly different. Loneliness often carries an air of negativity, a sense of being cut off or isolated socially. But solitude, on the other hand, is something you seek intentionally. It's about being alone but not feeling lonely. It's about finding peace in the absence of others.
Exactly, Lam. Our guest shared earlier about wandering around the Meiji Shrine alone, immersed in the realm of solitude, and how it resonated with the calm and acceptance phase of their heartbreak. While loneliness may be painful, solitude can often bring healing, especially when dealing with personal emotions.
Right, Hazel? I think being in Tokyo, a city that's always alive, creates an interesting juxtaposition. Despite being amidst the city's rush, our guest found spaces and moments of solitude that were deeply healing. Do you think that's what helped them embrace their loneliness, transforming it into empowering solitude?
I believe so, Lam. The bustling cityscape of Tokyo offers unique opportunities for solitude amidst the chaos. But the flip side is also true. We cannot forget to recognize the healing power of getting lost in the crowd. To just let the vibrancy of Tokyo wash over you, as our guest stated, seems to offer a sense of anonymity, providing release.
True. The crowd, ironically, can provide a cushion against loneliness. You get to be part of a larger whole, yet maintain your individuality. That's the beauty of cities like Tokyo.
It's fascinating how places can get tied with songs. While exploring Tokyo, were there any particular songs or bands that resonate with your healing journey? Today's guest.
Well, Hazel, it's funny you ask that because I found myself veering towards J-pop. Arashi's Endless Game somehow became my go-to song when I was wandering through Akihabara.
Interesting. Is there a reason why Endless Game stood out for you in Akihabara?
Its lively beat matched the energetic vibe of Akihabara, you know. It was a distraction, a kind of solace amidst the crowd. The lyrics also blend well with my phase at the time, moving past the heartache.
The power of music, indeed. It can mirror our emotions, heal, and even provide distraction. Were there other songs that impacted your healing journey?
Definitely. During the strolls in Ueno Park, I found myself lost in the soft melodies of Utada Hikaru's Hanataba wo Kimi ni. I guess the song symbolized a kind of peace after acceptance. It was a soothing lullaby against the tranquil backdrop of the park.
That's beautiful. Music truly seems to have played a key role throughout your journey in Tokyo. It adds another dimension to the healing process, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely, Hazel. I almost had a playlist for the entire healing journey there, and I'll gladly share it. Maybe it can resonate with someone else going through something similar.
That's a wonderful thought. Sharing your playlist might just offer solace to others on similar healing journeys.
As your exploration of Tokyo continued, were there any impactful souvenirs that you collected or items you left behind?
Oh, definitely, Hazel. I found a small wooden torii gate at Meiji Shrine's gift shop. It was beautifully designed, but what drew me to it was what it symbolized: a gateway to a sacred space. I guess at that moment I saw it as a declaration of my heart as a sacred space, healed and guarded.
That's such a powerful narrative tied to a simple souvenir. It really puts into perspective the journey you underwent. Did you happen to leave any items behind as part of your healing process?
Yes, Hazel. I actually left behind a keychain that was a gift from my ex. I had carried it around as a reminder, but I realized I needed to let go. So I left it beside a stone lantern at Ueno Park. It felt like closure to an emotional chapter.
We often attach memories and sentiments to objects. Your act of leaving the keychain behind is symbolically profound. Out of everything you brought back, was there one souvenir that stood out through your journey?
I think, Lam, it has to be a simple sketch I bought from a street artist in Akihabara. It only depicted the bustling streets, but to me, it was a reminder of the Akihabara's lively energy that distracted me from my heartache. Now, it's framed in my apartment, a testament to my journey.
Navigating Tokyo alone after a heartbreak, now that's a journey. Can you tell us about any fears or excitement you felt embarking on this journey?
I won't lie, Hazel. It was a whirlwind of emotions. It was my first solo trip, and in a country where I didn't speak the language. I felt vulnerable, but also a certain thrill and independence I hadn't encountered before.
Vulnerability, a partner to heartbreak, can certainly make for a hairy situation. How did you ensure your safety and comfort when navigating a foreign city alone?
Initially, I felt a bit lost, but I made it a point to learn a few basic phrases in Japanese, carry a detailed map at all times, and had a plan for where I will go each day. Despite everything, Tokyo felt incredibly safe, which was comforting.
With every step in Tokyo, you not only navigated a city, but also a personal journey. As you emerged on the other side of heartbreak in this unfamiliar land, how did your outlook towards love and future relationships transform?
I believe heartbreak, as painful as it is, has the power to redefine our understanding of love. My solo trip to Tokyo taught me resilience, introspection, and the value of self-love. It reshaped my perception of relationships, placing a greater emphasis on self-happiness.
In your journey through Tokyo, I can't help but wonder, what role did art play in your healing? It has its own way of translating emotions.
Indeed, art often mirrors our deepest feelings. Were there significant pieces or places that resonated with your heartbreak journey?
Art has a beautiful subtlety in its ability to move people emotionally. I found the art installations at the Mori Art Museum greatly appealing. They paralleled my introspection with their reflective themes. It was healing and an oddly calming experience.
That's wonderful. We often forget how powerfully art can connect with our emotions and even guide us through complex feelings. Did you come across any other artworks, perhaps street art, that resonated with you?
Funny you mention that, Hazel. There's a mural in Shimokitazawa that depicted a woman letting go of a balloon. It's a simple yet profound image, symbolizing release of pain, similar to how I was trying to let go of my past.
Such a beautiful image. It might have inspired you and probably will continue to inspire others in their healing journey. The power of art really is uncanny.
Absolutely. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but for me, it was an experience valued more than that. More than just words, it was a healer, a silent companion in the unfamiliar city.
As we draw close to the end of this episode, we've traversed an emotional journey in Tokyo, mirroring your personal journey to heal and grow post-heartbreak.
Our journey began amongst the chaotic and crowded Tokyo trains, capturing the turbulent feelings right after heartbreak. Meandering through the calming tranquility of Meiji Shrine offered us insights into an acceptance stage of heartbreak.
We found distraction amidst the vibrant energy of Akihabara, and saw shifting perspectives from the heights of Tokyo Skytree. We also delved into the bustling loneliness, miners in love stories, and healing comfort foods in Tokyo.
Indeed, music and art found us solace, helping navigate through complex feelings of heartbreak. We discovered the peaceful embrace of Ueno Park, signifying the peace after acceptance, and gleaned wisdom from the cherished souvenirs of your journey.
Absolutely. Throughout all, the landscapes of Tokyo provided an exceptional backdrop to your recovery, symbolizing the stages of heartbreak and illuminating the path towards healing.
As we wrap up this episode, we want to encourage all our listeners to embark on your own healing journeys. Travel has a unique power to heal, and we hope today's reflections have resonated with you.
Every place, every experience, every encounter is a potential catalyst for growth and healing. If Tokyo can be a haven of recovery, then why not the rest of the world? Let's continue to explore this in our upcoming episodes.